Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to everyone. This is Juan Pablo Larenas. I am sharing with you a new report on the Global Transition Implementation Committee. I wanted to start acknowledging that we have had fascinating last 2 weeks, especially because of the what generated the declaration of the Business Roundtable all over the world. It has been part of many conversations that probably you have been engaged, and it has built a huge momentum on the B Corp community worldwide. It's incredible how the moment is coming to us. This is our moment, and we need to be more together than ever to capitalize what's been happening in the last 2 weeks. And also because we're still facing really terrible and sad things. What has been happening at Amazonas is just one example of the many problematic and sad situations that we have had in terms of climate crisis, inequality, and also in the role of public leaders, private leaders that are still not engaged with the change we need and with this new economy we need. So, to be honest, this process of the GTIC gives so much purpose when we think on these two sides of the coin, because building a strong global movement with a strong global governance will help us, of course, drive much more changes that we have been driven so far. Coming back to the GTIC, where we are. We have held, since we started in the beginning of August, weekly GTIC executive meetings with Bart and Andrew, and also with Emma and Julia from Ernst & Young. We have agreed with the GGC in the GGC meeting last week about the key priorities and challenges, and also stakeholder engagement. We have developed an action plan, a general action plan for the next 18 months, and key milestones, and also priorities for the next 2 months and for the next 4 weeks. We are starting to schedule bilateral meetings with the chairs and executive directors of each of the global partners to discuss on how they would like to engage, what are their main concerns, anxieties, ideas, and so on. And finally, we have new members for the GTIC that have been appointed, and the first full GTIC meeting will be held next week. Let me introduce you to our new GTIC members. Lorraine, who is a BLAB board member since the beginnings, and Lorraine also was part of the GTSC. So it was a pleasure to work with Lorraine for 6 months in the Global Transition Steering Committee. Meliani, who is the chair of BLAB Australia, New Zealand. Meliani also participated for 3 or 4 years in the Global Governance Council. Meliani has been in BLAB Australia, New Zealand since the beginnings, and also she led with Charmian the process of the Global Visioning Tour. And finally, Katie Hill is the current BLAB Europe chair, was the former BLAB UK executive director, and also Katie is in the BLAB board representing the GGC. So welcome and a huge applause to Lorraine, Melly, and Katie, and thank you so much to be joining the Global Transition Implementation Committee. As a reminder, these are the main challenges and priorities that were highlighted in the first workshop we did a few weeks ago in New York City. And these priorities were validated by the GGC, and they asked to include a fifth priority, which is related to global services. What are the main priorities or the milestones we expect to achieve between now and the end of 2020? In terms of mission and vision alignment, we expect that by the end of the year, we have alignment on the global vision and theory of change, and other strategic elements like values, operating principles, and so on. Some of them that should be harmonized, other that could be different according to each region. In terms of philanthropy, we expect that by the end of 2020, we have sufficient funds committed to close the funding gap, and also that we can launch a campaign to expand globally and innovate. And that's why mission and vision alignment is so important, because in order to be successful in fundraising, we need a common narrative, we need a common epic, we need to do efforts together between global partners. In terms of business model also, we expect that by the end of 2020, we have the verification system launch, the cost plus approach from the VTrust launch, and also new earned income streams from global partners and BMTT implement. In order to get financial sustainability, we not only we need philanthropy to close the gap, but also we need stronger organizations with the capacity to delivering other earned incomes connected to our vision and our mission, of course, but other earned incomes that can also generate impact. In terms of global services, we need further analysis, but at least this year we will start co-creating the global services model. All of these 4 topics and challenges, always engaging our stakeholders. It is really important to highlight that all existing philanthropy campaigns and earned income streams should continue as we work on building out the philanthropy and business model strategies. So if global partners are in conversations with potential funders and also are implementing new earned incomes that are already approved by the Global Governance Council, please go on. Do not stop. In terms of global governance, there are 4 layers or elements from the global governance: the evolution of the VLAB Inc. board, the VTrust spin out from VLAB, VLAB US and Canada spin out from VLAB Inc., and the V-entity governance. And as you can see, there are within those 4 elements different things to do. But our target by the end of 2019 is to have an agreed structure and objectives of the VLAB Inc., V-entity, VTrust, and VLAB US and Canada boards, ideally with members identified. We want to give huge priority to this challenge, which is global governance. For the next 2 months, we have already some priorities set in terms also of developing the roadmap for the next 18 months with more detail, with milestones, with a Gantt chart and other tools, with a stakeholder matrix, gap assessment, risks, and so on. Also, we will start doing the board configurations, drafting the board configurations in terms of global governance, in terms of vision and mission alignment. We will start collecting the information from different global partners, and also always considering all the inputs and the agreements from the Global Visioning Tour. We will update the current business model in terms of numbers, and also we will start having conversations, bilateral conversations with executive directors and chairs of each of the global partners. And in the first week of October, we will organize an open call as well with EDs, chairs, co-founders, country partners, and market builders, and so on, to have an open and a longer discussion about this process beyond the bilateral conversations. In terms of even shorter term priorities, these are the main priorities for September. I will share this presentation with you also. I will not go point by point, but I just wanted to let you know that we already have priorities also for the next 4 weeks in terms of vision and mission alignment, philanthropy, business model, global governance, and global services. The key stakeholders that are with the yellow stars are the ones that will be prioritized for the next 3 months, mainly internal stakeholders. And when we already have a more alignment on the vision, mission, and the diagnosis and the action plan for the next challenges, we will start opening conversations also with external stakeholders. Finally, September is an amazing month of many events. We will have Encuentro Blasfem Mendoza between 11th and 13th of September. The week after, the B Corp Champions Retreat in LA, and the week after, the European B Corp Summit. So 3 global events in 1 month, which also means that probably September will be a month with a slower pace in terms of moving forward with the GTIC, and also because I will be full-time on my global partner lead role since October 1st. In September, we have Mendoza, and also I will be handing my current role in Sistema B to Marcel Fukayama. I wanted, before saying goodbye, I wanted to apologize again for not using simultaneous translation. We are looking for a platform that could provide simultaneous translation in many languages. But at this moment, if you know anyone who does not understand English, please reach me, and I will make sure to save some time with those people and to help them understand the information from this video. Thank you so much, and I hope to be sending you a new update of the Global Transition Implementation Committee after the trip to New York, in which we will have a second workshop of the GTIC. Bye bye, and have a great week.